What's up, my guys? We are back in line once again. Can't believe it's been another week. Another week has gone by. Lunchtime, favorite time of the day, favorite day of the week. Now these days, super happy to be back. Super happy to see all your beautiful faces. I hope you're having a beautiful day, beautiful week, beautiful month so far. So we're ecstatic to be back. What's up, my guys?
JT, I'm here and I'm very excited for this episode. Sad we couldn't do it yesterday. I was so excited because I got so many things to talk about, and I can't wait to do it. But I had a good weekend. We upgraded our gym membership, and I'm doing like these group training classes, and they're kind of kicking my ass. Hence, I'm not standing. I think I did it felt like 300 squats yesterday, and I can't move now. So I can't stand. I can't walk. I'm like not going to go with that
like
analogy.
Stephen Hawking.
Nope, not going to.
Can't stand, can't walk. Stephen Hawking.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, boys, things are going great over this way. I become a godfather this weekend, so I'm very excited about that. Shout out the Father, shout out God, and yeah, man, just very, very happy to be here. Excited to throw a couple adult pops back on Saturday. Maybe watch a couple fights here and there. See if I can stay up a little past my bedtime. But other than that, things have been good. Just been in the zone, the war zone. Your boy's kind of stepping up his game a little bit. And life's good. First week so far of doing my little flex hours. So kind of just getting used to working a little later on Tuesday, today, and tomorrow. But I get done early on Friday, and that's lit. And I'm going to send it on back to you, Ticket Nation, for the first unveil of something that you would like to talk about.
So I got something I got to talk about, and it's been a topic for a couple weeks now. A lot of hype around some big media going around, and I have, for the third time, watched Dune.
Okay, bravo. If I could.
Wait a sec. I don't know how this is going yet.
I can already tell, so that's why I was giving it a clap, because I can see which road.
He started it us off, getting us excited, but I think I need to reel it in a little bit till I hear what's next here.
So I watched Dune, and I stayed up the whole way through. I watched the first 3.5 hours one night, and then the next day I watched the other 90 minutes, I'm just kidding. That was a joke on the length. But actually, I do have a couple things. I thought it was pretty good, honestly. On the rewatch, I was more enthralled. I was really giving it a good effort, and I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool world. The cinematics were good. I got a couple notes. So it was like the first one when they talked to the one lady and they said, like, for the Emperor, we like whatever the family is. I don't know. Araldus, is that the family's name?
When you mean
Aratus?
When they roll Atreides, when they roll in and they like give them the desert planet, like when the whole crew kind of rolls in. Is that what you're talking about?
Like right before that, when they sign, when they basically sign.
Yep.
And then they go to the desert. I wish they would have said like travels to Arrakis. You know what I mean? Like I wish they would have, because Star Wars, they put kind of in the subtitle like Tatooine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I wish they would have done something like that to say where they're going. That would have been nice. Some of the fighting, like when he was training with, I think it was Josh Brolin, his character and stuff. Like there was a point where you could tell they were on like cables and stuff, like they were floating. And I was like, it's a little wonky, it's like kind of like a little wonky. It's hand to hand, but then they're like floating and flying. And I'm like, it's a little weird.
So let me ask you, because I know I definitely like have noticed that. My first initial thought, which I could be completely wrong and giving it way too much credit, and you're probably very right here, but I wonder if that has anything to do with those shields that they have on. If it makes them move weird, look weird, that is what my first initial thought of it was. But I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of like a zero gravity where it's like you can kind of leap and you're floating a little bit. So that could be something as well with like the shield generators and stuff. But I feel like when we see later when Jason Momoa is full shielded up, he's kind of just acting like himself, just going berserk.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But again, that's just like minor things. That doesn't take away from the story. But and then there was a one point where it like we see Paul's dreams, Paul Timothy Chalamet, and it's always about Zendaya. You know, it's always about Zendaya. But then he meets someone.
Me too.
Just come on, who hasn't? But then then I don't know if it was when they met Silgar or I think it was someone else because Silgar said, "I recognize you." There was a one point where he said, "I've seen you in my dreams" to someone, and it's like that was not shown on screen. So it's like if this guy's dreaming of other people besides Zendaya, I think we should be able to see it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well,
So
there is. You're right. There is. He does have that one vision though when he gets left when the worms come in the first time and he's on the spice fields and he's trying to get those people to come in the helicopter and he gets caught outside. He does see that. I'm pretty sure that's the vision where he sees the black dude that he ends up fighting at the very end to get in. Is
James.
that what you're talking about?
I don't think because he doesn't mention it. No. He doesn't mention that. And
Okay.
he's shown multiple times because he's like, I'm going to show you the ways of the sand.
Yeah.
And I expected, even though I've seen Dune, I expected the fight with Jameis to go differently. I expected him to be like, you're gonna be the one to teach me. Like, why are you fighting me? You know, so I was kind of confused. But I forget. I might have to rewatch and try to find the exact moment. But Paul, I wrote it down. Like when we see the dreams of other people than Paul that he speaks of, like we should be able to see that. So it could have been a deleted scene, which goes into like my ultimate issue with the movie. I thought it was cool at the end when he's fighting Jameis and he's hearing like the prophecy and it's like Paul must die in order for the whatever the word of like the prophecy is. So like he can rise basically. It's kind of like Harry Potter, where Harry Potter has to die in order to end up killing Voldemort in the end. You know what I mean? Like one of them has to die. The Kriz knives, like Zendaya meets Paul and 10 minutes later gives him his her aunt's great Kriz knife that's been in the family forever. It's like you're giving away heirlooms to this guy who is an outsider and you just met. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. They're giving away like fucking hotcakes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but hey, dude, listen, I'm sure you have a favorite t-shirt that your grandpa's grandpa gave you. If Leonardo DiCaprio walked up to you and said, "Hey, Tiggy Nation, I need a shirt," I'm sure you would let him borrow it, right?
That one, I mean, I don't know.
That is true.
That was something. And then like I put the last fight was kind of wonky. It was just like, I don't know. It's so like the combat is so weird because some of the stuff is so technologically advanced, but when they fight, they're closer than UFC fights. You know what I mean? Like they are like within a foot of each other using knives and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure. I think that's why they emphasize when he's training with Thanos the first time, how like he turns the knife and like can hit it off of him and doesn't do it. But like, there's that one scene where like you have to get it perfectly, or maybe that's Oscar Isaac's character. I don't disagree with you with the fighting stuff. I just have told myself that that's how they have to fight to get through the shields. That's what I made up to compromise for the weird looking fighting. I'm just happy that you enjoyed the movie. That's brings a happiness to my heart.
I did. I completely forgot how many big time actors there were. You know what I mean? Like we talked about Josh Brolin, aka Thanos. We talked about, what was it, Jason Momoa when he goes like berserker mode and stuff like that.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson, absolute smoke. She's awesome. I hope she's a big part of the next one because she's still alive, right? Yeah, like she's still alive at the
end. She's pregnant.
So. Yeah. Oh yeah. Peter, yeah, or is Peter? Yeah. No, Paul. Paul ends up saying, yeah, like you're pregnant and stuff. But it's like, why didn't we see that in the vision? I want to see every vision this fucking kid has. There's no reason why they couldn't add the airtime. And that becomes my biggest issue with the whole movie. The movie should have been longer. That's my stance. The movie should have been longer. Because that's my issue. I didn't understand it. It's like they didn't explain enough. You know what? Throw all the deleted scenes, throw more background information in, Give me a 4-hour movie and put an intermission in the middle.
Yeah.
I'd go see that.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Like, and I mean, it's crazy because when we were growing up and like a new story came out, you just like watched it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and didn't. I feel like these days, like we just dissect every little detail and want to know everything, right?
Yeah.
Because you're right. You're like, wait, what is this? Like, what is this part? What does this mean? And you're like, but it keeps you coming back for more. Okay,
Dude.
so you got to go see Dune 2. I hear it's great, by the way.
Yes.
After listening to your synopsis here, Tiggy Nation, I have to rewatch the movie Dune 1 before I go because there's so much stuff that I'm forgetting. So
pause it real quick at Dune 2. This is a quick funny sidebar. So me, my mom, and dad watched No Country for Old Men last weekend. Old movie, 2007, great movie. It goes to what JT said about the brains, about us being and dissecting everything. And there's just so many things in that movie where you're like, how the hell did this happen?
dude, but you're right. And it's like, I'm not trying to change the subject from Dune, but it's like, for instance, you watch an OG Star Wars movie, you don't know what the fuck anything is. Like,
dude,
if you didn't know Star Wars and you watched that, you're like, what is all this shit? You know what I mean?
I had my mom belly cackling because she kept asking me questions, and I literally just kept saying, like, Mom, this is a 2007. People didn't care. People didn't think that far. Like, you're asking questions like,
yeah,
well, how'd they get here? Listen,
it's
this
crazy,
is 2007.
Yeah.
This is years ago. Like, and now every time I watch older movies, I am that way. I agree. I've kind of morphed to be like, oh, I want to know this, know that. I've tried to take a step back, but that was the perfect example of a movie that I've seen. And there are times where it just cuts to things, then you just like, that's the last time you hear about it. It's just, I agree though. Like that they make movies way more intricate now. Well, I don't want to say all of them. I don't want to generalize, but you guys get what I mean.
No, yeah. I mean, but I think a lot about it is just a lot of people like stuff, and I feel like people are more passionate about a lot of things than ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it's like going to the movies was just that was the event, was going to the movies, not going to see a certain film. You know what I mean?
Like,
whoa,
you know
that's
what I mean?
so true.
Yeah, and here, like, I wonder, do you think with our like group of people, if they dropped us back into like whenever, like the 70s, 80s, do you think the whole dynamic of like what movies were successful would be different? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like,
yeah, probably.
Because I feel like
say it again. Hold on. Say it again.
If our people like us, we were like our thoughtful people now, like with movies and dissecting every little thing. If you drop that whole population into like the 70s, 80s, do you think like the success of certain movies would completely change? Like the landscape would change?
I have a hot take. I think that it wouldn't work. I don't think that people from now could be plopped in the 70s, make the same kind of it wouldn't get the same reaction.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying making movies. I'm saying watching. Like if the way we watch movies and dissect it, and we were in like years ago, I'm wondering like if all the same movies would be just as successful, or if it would be just completely different. Like
completely different, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But
because that was a time when those types of things, to my knowledge, were more of like treats, like a McDonald's or like a Dairy Queen. You went to the movies. It wasn't something that was done regularly. It wasn't something that was done all the time. And probably it wasn't something for people that didn't live in cities that was as, you couldn't do it as much. So I feel like it kind of is to what Tiggy was saying, where it was just more of a the treat was the go to the movies, not what
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is so true. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching like an old like Seinfeld, they go to try to see a movie that's sold out. They're watching something else. They're not just leaving. You know what I mean? They're not trying to find a new theater. More than likely, they're like, oh, well, I guess we're watching this movie then. It's the only other movie playing right now. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's just different. But I think with that, a lot of people more passionate. A lot of people want to know more. I think there's obviously bad fans out there who will criticize something to its demise for no reason, which
for
probably
sure.
was me on Dune at the beginning because like I everyone was kind of so hype on it. I was like, I didn't understand it. It was boring for me. And I rewatched it and I definitely feel a little bit more understanding of it. So
And dude,
Yeah.
what an Avengers ensemble of actors in the second movie, but young actors. Like you have Austin Butler now, you have Timothy Chalamet, you have Zendaya, you have Florence Pugh. Like that's like a massive collective of young star actors, which I'm trying to think like other than like I don't know if anything compares to it actually in terms of like the younger generation of actors all being in one movie together. To my knowledge, I would say this is probably the first time, and it's like 4 big dogs. It's not just like 2A, 2B. Like it is 4 star actors and actresses, which is
Hello?
what was that?
Hello?
Angie?
JT, Angie,
Angie?
is that Angie? Who is that?
Yeah, that was dude. I was like, what is happening? I was like, did Florence Pugh just call into the show?
I was so confused. I'm looking up the cast and I'm trying to like see anyone else who I kind of recognize. And yeah, you're right. Tons of young actors. I mean, just so many well-established ones too. I mean, Dave Bautista's coming back as well. I kind of forgot about that. Christopher Walken's it. I didn't realize he was the Emperor.
So here's the
Unless they
only thing I saw about him. And again, I've learned that I have to form my own opinions on movies, even if it's people that I like. I did see DP Dave Portnoy say that his one gripe was not that Christopher Walken was bad in the movie. It's that it's hard to envision him as an emperor.
Yeah. Or did we not see the Emperor in the first one?
No.
Who's the guy that Bautista's talking to? The big fucking like tall glob thing.
That is like the leader of that family.
Oh, I thought he was the Emperor.
So he would be, for example, like he's the Robert Baratheon of the Baratheons. I can't remember the name of that family.
He's the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the Skarsgård guy. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure the lore is out there where you can probably like Google the families and stuff. And I mean, I guess Dune was the inspiration for Star Wars. I know they mentioned that with like Dave and Robbie Fox and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Dune 2. I hope to see it soon. A lot of good reviews. It's cool. It's probably too late to get the popcorn bucket, unfortunately, but
Dude, I saw who was it? Maybe John Harvey, who's like not a big like singer rock that I just love. He went and saw it recently and he had the popcorn bucket. So maybe they're still out there.
Yeah, maybe. And then did you see the guy riding the sandworm in the theater?
No.
Oh my God. You haven't seen that video?
No.
There's a video of this guy and he is like at the theater dressed up head to toe. And he's literally, I don't know if it's a hoverboard or what, like he's he's like riding a sandworm like at the end of the movie 1. And everyone's doing the comment of like, wonder what movie he's here to see. like the people dressed as Spider-Man to see him. And stuff.
That's so funny. JT, are you good over there, man? I mean, are we?
Yeah, we're good. I think Angie had to move my car. And then that's why all the sounds happened, and I was so confused.
Wait, was she on the phone, or was that her in the house saying hello?
Oh my God! She said hello.
We could hear her talking. That's why me and Tiki went
Because
crazy.
it went.
All of a sudden, we're talking about Florence Pugh, and we hear somebody go, "Hello, hello." And we're like, "What? What?"
Oh my God. The Bluetooth. She turned my car on and my phone connected to Apple CarPlay
So
while
she
we're
could hear us.
Yeah, I apparently.
That's funny. That's funny as hell.
Oh my God.
But
That is
JT, do you have
actually
anything?
hysterical.
You have anything to add before we jump to the other movie that we've talked about a bunch on this program?
No, I don't have anything to add for Dune, but yeah, let me get a quick thing in here real quick before you bounce to that. Avatar already renewed for not book 2, but book 2 and book 3. So that just goes to show it had pretty successful off the rip. Obviously, you have, like you said, Tiggy Nation people criticizing it nonstop in the comments. But you know what? After digesting it, I liked it. I would watch it again. I enjoyed it. So I was really pumped to see that today. Avatar getting renewed for book 2 and 3. They better bust it out quick, though, because Aang's gonna grow up super fast, and he was like a little. Go ahead.
Do you think that's why they announced 2 and 3 though, for that simple reason? Because I found that I've never seen anything like that before, where they're like, oh, we're not renewed for one more season, we're renewed for 2, and they're promoting it that way. Like, I've never seen that before, so maybe that's why.
Maybe they're gonna record it. Film it all at the same time. Maybe like a whole Avatar, like the Avatar freaking movies ordeal. Do it all at once and then come out with it. Maybe that will happen. But yeah, so I was super pumped about that today.
How many? Is there 3 books in the animated too?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so I would say what Jake's saying is definitely true. Like they're probably just trying to film it all. Like what you both are saying. They're just going to film it all and then just space it out. Should be good.
I thought that was pretty cool. Like when I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, like they're basically just saying, yo, we're not running it back one more time, we're running it back 2 more times. I just wonder if like that will, everything starts in a trend somehow. I wonder if that'll be like a thing that we start seeing every once. But and also that might be good for shows. Might be good for shows that like maybe don't have like the big animated or books behind them, just regular type shows. And maybe that'll promote some type of thing where it's like, either you canceled after 1 or you at least got to make 3. I'm done. A show like Friends from College that I love on Netflix died after 2 seasons. It's like 2 seasons is too much for one. I don't know. Like it's got to either be 1 or 3 for me. I can't do 2. It's funky. It's funky.
Yeah. Real quick on Friends. Was it Friends from College?
Love that show.
I saw that. I thought it was so good, like season 1, and then season 2 just like reversed everything that happened in season 1, and I was like, 2 seasons down, nothing has changed right now, because like I was like,
dude, and they were setting up season 3 too. I can't like perfectly. And then I remember when I saw it was canceled, I was bummed. That's always a show that I rewatch once every couple years or so. Dude, the cast is incredible.
The cast is really good. Yeah, it's really good, and it's just kind of like no real super big premise. Like they're all kind of equal. I guess you kind of follow Keegan more than anyone, I guess. But I mean, it's like, it's just like a normal old school like mid 2000s sitcom. It's really good.
Oh, speaking of mid 2000s, speaking of shows that bring back old nostalgia type shows, boys, I bought Anyone But You this weekend. I watched Anyone But You this weekend. And let me tell you, I actually loved the entire movie. I thought it was very fun. It was very nothing like it had the plot of the story. It stuck to the plot of the story. It was just your OG like rom-com from the 2000s, late 2000s. I like honestly really, really like the movie. Obviously, I love Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney. Like, I love them. But in terms of the storyline itself, which we can dive into once we kind of touch on this, but like, I love the movie. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
I haven't seen it. I've seen a couple clips of the one in, I don't know if it's like a bakery or somewhere Sydney Sweeney needs to go to the restroom and stuff. And he kind of, like, I guess it was their meeting, and stuff like that. And it's just like
Great scene. Great scene, by the
incredible
way.
scene. Incredible scene. Like such a good, like, it's like, I feel like things have kind of flipped. You know what I mean? Because it's always like the nice guy never wins. Here, the nice guy wins. Here, the nice witty guy is the one who wins right here. And I'm like, that's fucking sick. Because you don't normally see that in like film and stuff like that. I don't know the rest of the movie, but that was a scene like, I like that. I like Glenn Powell, obviously, Sydney Sweeney. I mean, hey, how are you? I'm a heterosexual male, so of course I like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, it's I want to see it for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna watch it, but
you guys set me up. Literally, like the whole thing. JT said he was gonna watch it. I bring it up, getting all excited. And
you know what's crazy? I can't even explain myself. I was gonna watch it, but I got ghosted by Xfinity last night.
Fair.
Like, dude, this has been a freaking week-long thing, okay? The guy, I can't figure it out myself, which I know it's not hard to set up your internet. It wasn't the problem. The guy comes, he's like, dude, they don't even have a freaking feed line coming through the box into your house. I'm like, well, what the frick, man? So he's like, I got to schedule a technician to come out. It's like, all right, like, so they can't come back for 2 days, okay? So the kid comes yesterday, and he comes in, and I'm like, yeah. The guy said there's no feed line or whatever, and he's like, all right, let me look, let me take a look. And this young kid, and he goes, I swear to God, he goes, I don't know why they sent me here. There's no feed line in here. I was like, I know. Like, this is why someone had to come back to put the line in. And he didn't know what was going on. He's like, oh, okay, let me look. Let me see what's going on here. He's like, oh, yeah, looks like you are scheduled. There's a technician coming. Supposed to come from somewhere between 3 to 5. Okay, mind you, it was supposed to be from 2 to 5. I changed my whole day, okay? I got back to my house at 2 o'clock for this, to just kind of be ready. This kid comes, says, oh, I can't do it. They're on their way, though. So I'm sitting here waiting now. It's 4 o'clock. I call Xfinity. I'm like, hey, like, where's these guys at or whatever? And this nice little customer service lady, she's like, let me look. She looks. She's tracking them. It's like, oh, okay. They're on their way. It looks like they're running a little late, though. So they're probably not going to get there till about 6:30. So I'm like, all right. Okay, as long as they're coming, whatever. So 6:30 on the dot. No one's here. I call back. It's a different guy this time. Okay. He's like, oh, okay, let me look. How Xfinity is. It's custom, every different person every time. He's like, okay, let me look. He's like, all right, I see what's going on. It looks like there was a no answer, so we're gonna have to reschedule. I said, no answer. I said, I've been sitting here since 2 o'clock waiting. What do you mean there's no answer?
You said that?
Yeah. He was like, oh, well, it says they called you and no one answered. I said, I have been waiting here with my phone for 4.5 hours. And he's like, well, it's a customer service guy. He doesn't freaking know.
Yeah.
So I've come to the conclusion that it was the end of this guy's day that was supposed to come. And he didn't feel like coming. So he just reported they didn't answer.
That's exactly
so they're supposed to come back tomorrow from 10 to 12. And if they don't come, even if they do come and say, we have to come back tomorrow, I'm canceling Xfinity. I'm going with another internet.
What other options do you have out there?
Spectrum.
T-Mobile, maybe. I rumor has it T-Mobile's got some pretty good internet. Dead serious.
Okay, so yeah. Sorry I didn't watch the freaking movie. I had full intention of watching it, but I got jacked by Xfinity.
That's fine.
With that being said, Sydney Sweeney on SNL, her little spiel about how she's not dating Glenn Powell and her fiance is here to see her. And then
awesome.
they show the camera and it's Glenn Powell. And
You didn't see it? Oh, Tiggy. It's so funny, bro. I actually stayed up and watched her episode. At least I watched the monologue and I think one or two skits, and I died laughing. So yeah, like JT said, she's getting to the end of her monologue, and she's like, since I'm up here, have to address some news. No, me and Glenn weren't sleeping together in this movie. My fiance, he was a producer on the movie, and he was with me the entire time, paying to him. And the camera turns, and it's just Glenn Powell just sitting like smiling. And it's awesome, dude. But I'll make it quick. But this is about, I think, obviously, like everything, and this is perfect because we were talking about analyzing movies way too much. So I watch Anyone But You, and it's plain as day why this movie was made. Because our generation, the reports are that people are having less sex, and the reports are that people are having less kids. This was a movie, I don't even want to say promoting because it sounds weird. It just was the story. Glenn Powell is 9 years older than Sydney Sweeney in this rom-com. So this is like a movie where they're pushing relationships for older men and younger women because maybe these young women want to fuck and these boys just aren't fucking them. You know what I mean? And they need a men to come in.
Yeah. What's the age? Like, what are their ages? Does it say? Or does it just say he's 9 years older than her?
Well, so they don't say. They don't ever bring up 9 years. They insinuate that it's a large age gap. And when I Googled it, well, ChatGPT'd it. It told me that in the movie, they're supposed to be 9 years apart.
Nice.
9 years like 21-30 or 9 years like
I would
35-26.
I would say like 32, 33, and then whatever age that would make them
like
in
mid-20s. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a cool movie, but I think that's the message. Like, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But after I watched it once, I was like, all right, this is they're trying to get people out of their like bubbles of like, we're supposed to do this in this age bracket and this. Like, it was one of the first movies I've seen, at least in a while, where they're like, yo, it's cooler if you like talk to somebody a little younger than you type deal.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Two good actors. So I'm gonna have to check it out once I get my TV hooked up. Maybe
so with that being said,
maybe in 3 weeks. No, I got something here. It just made me
up my dating pool.
It just made me think of it. It just made me think of you.
I'm putting that low end way down there.
We're down to 21, boys and girls.
Hell yeah!
They can get into the bar. They're good for us. Say-o.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once you do
can drink
that,
the beer,
once you do,
semen.
All right, are you guys gonna let me fucking talk? Holy shit!
I can't wait to edit JT's yapping out right now.
I'll freaking hang up and you guys can chat. I'll go eat myself a freaking turkey and provolone sandwich downstairs.
Sounds pretty good.
With mustard, with hot. You guys ever get hot honey? There's Mike's hot honey.
Are you going to talk about hot honey like we don't all eat hot honey wings, JT? You're not the only one that likes hot honey wings. I want you to know that. Okay,
Tiggy Nation, do you have hot honey in your cabinet? Do you have you ever had?
I've ordered honey hot wings before.
That's not what that's not what I
asked. And they don't answer half.
That's not what I asked. I said, do you have hot honey in your cabinet right now as a condiment? Yes or no? Have you ever? Yes or no? That's the question. No, you haven't.
No.
So all I'm saying is I have Mike's hot honey in my cabinet, and you should put it on stuff because it tastes good. Anyway,
Oh.
Have you listen, Jake, especially you two, Tiggy Nation?
Okay, we're all listening.
Yeah, the only two other people.
Jeez, is this a Nick Swanson fucking special? Come on.
No, but I know Jake
Jesus.
likes what's his face, not Mike Jones, the the Jones guy. That's on the crazy dude. That's on Rogan
Alex
all the time.
Jones,
Did you see that whole
well,
shit
first
with?
of all, hold on. I don't like him. I think he's funny. I don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you see the shit about Ryan Garcia?
The cocaine stuff?
Maybe that's a part of the same thing. But he just fully had a mental breakdown on Andrew Tate's podcasts, saying that they took him to the Bohemian Grove and tied him down and made him watch the elites rape little kids and stuff.
Wait, Ryan Garcia sang this?
Yeah. On Andrew Tate's podcast on Twitter or whatever.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it now because that's interesting. So my thing was a Jake Paul thing. I know like Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul were going back and forth, and Jake Paul was like, "You're addicted to coke," which is an easy thing to say because like his promoter's Oscar De La Hoya, who also is a big cokehead. So I don't know if that's true. What you're saying is quite interesting, and we probably just got our podcast pulled down after you said that, but might as well just freaking let it off the lid now.
Well, see, it wasn't me saying it. It was me quoting something. So we might be all right.
You didn't give the air quotes though, so.
Yeah, I'm not
Too
saying
late.
that.
Too late. I can't edit that back in.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. That's what happened on the podcast. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
No, that's actually. I mean, I can't wait to watch it so I can actually see like body language and like everything like that. But if he's fucking left, he doesn't even want to hear what I'm saying.
He's going to get his hot honey.
He just left.
No.
I don't know. I think it'll be crazy to see because if that's true, it would add up to what crazy ass Alex Jones says happens there.
Yeah, it's just so. I didn't listen to the podcast. I just heard a clip of it on Twitter, and I'm like, what benefit do you have to like say this story? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, it would put you in danger. I feel like. So why would you just randomly start making that up? You know, it's just kind of wild. Kind of wild.
I mean, I did hear the story. I don't know what the Bohemian Grove is, but I don't know if that's like a famous place. But I saw that story. And it's kind of fucking wild.
Okay, Bohemian Grove is where one of the first times that Alex Jones went viral years ago is he talked about for years this Bohemian Grove place, and supposedly that is where all the elites go. They all wear bags over their head, like they worship like weird things, weird rituals and stuff happen. People were like, that's insane. Alex Jones snuck in and caught some stuff on camera. So then people were like, oh shit, this is real. And then fast forward now to where like that is what started like Alex Jones's, I believe, to my knowledge, his big like conspiracy theory, crazy type guy. And now fast forward however many years, you have one of the greatest young boxing talents that has been around for a while now, even though he's still very young. He just lost to Tank Davis, but Tank Davis is a dog. And if he really went on Andrew Tate's podcast, which everybody knows, we don't got to get into Andrew Tate. Everybody knows who Andrew Tate is, blah, 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 blocked on stuff, is what it is. Whether you like it, I really could care less either way. But the fact that he went on there and actually said that on X, where people might hate Elon Musk for making that app the way it is, but the amount of millions of people that can see that, it's not just like a Fox or CNN here where we just see it on the TV. Like this, it's broadcasted to the entire world. Like, I think the Putin and Tucker Carlson interview, when I watched it like a couple days or a day or so, already had like 72 million views. So like a shit ton of people are saying that. If Ryan Garcia has the courage to go on there, if that really happened to him, say it on Andrew Tate's podcast and have a mental breakdown, I'll be the first to say it. I don't know how you not believe him.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
Andrew Tate said something like, as he's having his mental breakdown, he's like, you understand what path you're going down right now, don't you? Or something like that, like saying you are putting yourself in danger to talk about this, you know? So I don't know. Pretty crazy stuff, though.
Yeah, wild stuff. Hope Ryan gets better because I love seeing him in the ring. Looks great in the shorts, and I know he like a lot of his stuff got hacked too. He was saying like he lost all his money and stuff, didn't have access to his credit cards. So I mean that's just fucking crazy. As someone who finally just recently changed auto insurance providers because Geico was robbing me. Yes, Geico, the little gecko, robbing me blind. Actually, not even blind. My eyes were open. He was still taking my money. But we're off there, and I'm saving money now, so that's good.
Yeah.
If it means anything, I switched to insurances at the beginning of this year too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, dude, Geico was like regular, and then after 6 months or a year, they just changed it after there was no change in my driving or nothing, and I was just been too lazy to fucking change it.
It's actually should be a federal crime for how expensive things have gotten over these last like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
It's true. Yeah, I do agree. I agree with you.
Yes.
But shit, I did have something that I wanted to talk about. Oh, did I tell the story on this fine program about getting stood up by the priest?
No, what? Wait,
what? Yeah. All right, dude. So basically, we don't have to name parishes. We'll just use it as parish.
Mm-hmm.
I went to this school my entire life, from preschool all the way to 8th grade, paid my dues, fine, outstanding citizen, went to that fine academy, fine parish growing up. Great. Fast forward. I get a wonderful opportunity, and I was asked to be one of my best friend's sons' godfather, which is very cool. Like, very like big honor for me. I really do appreciate it. I think that's going to be very cool on Saturday. So that parish's priest asked my friend to get a letter of good standing from me, from my parish, to pass along, kind of like a text, like, hey, Tiggy Nation, JT's good, let him in, that type of thing. So I call, I'm like, hey, don't know, never done this. I need to go down this route. Seems like this is something that they're very familiar with. Basically, I thought it was going to be, hey, here's an email, here's a date, come pick this up, whatever. They start pressing. They start pressing the boy. They start pressing. Like, when's the last time you've been to church? It's a weird question to ask somebody, because the only reason they would know that I went to church is only for one reason and one reason alone. It's the money that I give to them with my name on the envelope. So they weren't saying, hey, Jake, you haven't been to church in a while. They were saying, hey, pal, you haven't been paying your dues. Where the fuck you been? Is what it is. That's what went down. Long story short, I just was straight up. I was just like, yeah, I haven't called in a while. Like, yeah, sorry. Like, yeah, updated all my stuff. Maybe they
should have just said, I've lived overseas for like 6 years.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe they should look at their PR team, like, see what's going on in today's society. Like, maybe that might be a reason, but whatever, is what it is. They say, hey, good sir, are you able to come in and meet with the priest so he can meet with you?
No.
And so he can sign off on this. I mean, what am I going to say? So I had to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I show up. Sitting there. 45 minutes go by. Priest stands me up. Priest got double booked. Priest stands me up. Priest is at the high school that we all went to doing a thing there. So after 45 minutes, I sat there all calm, all cool, all collected. Hey, can you come back another time? Sure. Sure.
Oh, no. That's when, Jake, that's when you say, you know what? I did my part. Priest didn't. I would like my waiver here fully written off without doing it, or else I'm not going to give you the good referral, Priest.
Love that.
Oh shit! Reverse Uno card.
Love
You
that.
know?
That's what I should have did. Didn't do that. I was like, yeah, sure. Priest calls me the next day. Calls me.
Yeah.
Apologizes, says he's so sorry. You know, seems like a decent guy. Give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he's probably busy. He's like, hey, can you come meet me sometime this week? Hey, sure. Let's do Friday at this time, whatever it is. All right, cool. Sounds good. I just said, fuck it. I took a half day of work because I was like, I hit my numbers for the month already. I haven't had a day off. Let's just give myself a half day. You know, we'll do our thing. Work gets done. Pull back up. Sitting there, bullshitting. Priest stands me up again.
No shot.
Priest stands me up again.
Hold up here. Do we have the priests tag teaming with Xfinity to ghost us?
I don't know.
Is that what I hear going on?
That's the theme of this episode. I'll tell you that. That's the theme of this episode. And don't be shocked if Ryan Garcia is ghosted next, but that's for another day. So basically I'm sitting there and I'm kind of, you know, boiling a little bit. And somebody that at least me and JT have known our whole lives came up, talked to me, bullshitted. The thing was done. They said he just needed his signature. They'll give me a call on Monday. Great. I go through a whole week, not a single phone call. I call them on Friday. Nobody answers. I leave a voicemail. Nobody calls me back Monday. So I had to call them on Tuesday, and I could just tell there was like a little panic in their voices. But long story short, I got that shit emailed over, and I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow just to have it. But I am one of the only people ever in this world to be stood up by a priest, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Damn. Now, I don't go to that parish. We're talking about the Catholic Church. But I've never been to that parish, but I've heard stories that I played on a baseball team with someone who went to that school and that parish. And they had mentioned that like their family would have to like go and meet with the priest and would basically be like, kind of like what you're saying, like haven't been to church that much. And the guy is like, I don't know, studies the father studies the profession of law. And, you know, pretty big in Pike baseball and, had a son be in local sports down by the river. You know, if you don't know who I'm talking about, then you might never know. But, and long story short, I think the guy was like, I mean, Jesus, I pay for all these kids to go to school and I donate on top of that. And I'm not in church. Like, what more do you want? Like,
I have a great Jerry Nixon story.
Oh, it's crazy.
It was just me and him. I don't even think JT was with us. I don't know where mom was, where mother was. Jesus, that came out rough. Me and dad just went to church because we had to get our name in the basket because that's what you did. So they didn't, had to get your name in the basket. And we're sitting there and it's an election year. I think it's like 2004 or something. And the priest is talking about politics, and I'll never forget this in my life. Dad stands up in the middle of church, and we're sitting all the way in the back, and he just goes, "Well, I'm trying to remember the verbatim. He was just like, I'm here to I'm here to talk to God, not to get told to who to vote for president, and just grabbed my hand and we left. And it was the coolest, one of the coolest stories and like funny little memories that I have of Dad. And then I remember like we'd go to church. JT, do you remember this, where we would sneak over to Exxon while church was going on, or was that just me and Dad?
What?
Probably when we used to sit in the cry room, right?
Yeah,
right?
We would just go to the bathroom and just go over to Exxon, stand outside.
Good times.
Isn't that crazy that like church is a place that is very healing and very, holy for a lot of people. And, if that works for you, that's great. But there's there's something about always trying to get out of things, even if it could be good for you, where it's like you guys are sitting in probably an air-conditioned room with so much nice art around and people are singing songs and saying good things.
Yeah.
And instead, you guys are trying to weasel out of it, go outside, which is probably cold, to go to a local gas station where they sell beer to minors.
America!
Dude, that's so funny.
Like when you,
church.
Yeah.
It is funny when you put it that way.
Yeah. Well, one time, this was not many years ago, we were going to church on Christmas, and we decided to go down to a church in McMecken. In McMecken Church, I forget which one. And we packed a cooler, and we got to church probably like an hour early, and we pregame church.
It's awesome.
And then me, Mom, Dad, and Jake go into church, and we sit down. We sit down. Church is getting ready to start, and we look around, and we're like, "You want to just leave?" Church didn't even start. We got up. The little kids are walking down, like performing Christmas mass in their angel costumes, and we just left and went to Permanis.
We just went right through and went to the bar.
That's terrible. I love God.
Terrible.
I love God. Sorry, God. That's a good memory though.
Yeah, but dude, you know what? I'm gonna stand up for some people right now, because like I don't think that means that you don't love God.
No, I agree.
I know you.
You.
I'm just saying, but like there would be people that would hear that story and like they would pretend that Satan is coming out of them while they're taking their fucking, whatever it is every day to just get by. And just because I need a beer or two on the day where it's about family and bringing people closer to each other and creating memories, I have more memories like that than I do in church.
Yeah.
I bet now with the new age technology we have and how like short form content is king, I bet there is a gold mine of where someone could be like an online priest and drop clips of very like entertaining stuff where it's actually preaching the good word, but it's putting it more relatable in like real-time scenarios and stuff like that. And it can be very charismatic, and they could potentially make more money than the Catholic Church, which seems insurmountable, and they make it all tax-free.
Mm-hmm. There's people on TikTok like that.
So there's people on TikTok, so there we go. The idea is over. So unfortunately, none of us can do it. But
yeah, but obviously they're not good enough. They're not good enough, Tiggy Nation, if we didn't know about them.
That's true.
True.
I'm just going to brag us up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool because, like, obviously all of us were born, like, we grew up Catholic and stuff. I went to, I forget what it's called. It's like Triple C. I forget what it's called.
T3?
Is it T3? Okay, maybe it's
C3. No, C3.
C3?
Yeah.
I went there when they were up at the Highland. I think they were at the movie theater. And I went up with my mom one time. And I think I had to go for a class I was taking at Northern at the time or something like that. But it was, like, actually cool. Like, the priest, or I don't even know if it was a priest, was like I don't know, whoever was up there was talking about it. And it was a typical Bible story that we had all heard about or something like that. And he related it. It was like Jesus asked someone to, like, their son to just come with them. And he just instantly said yes and left his dad, who was a fisherman, and just left. And the priest or the guy was like, obviously, it probably didn't go down this way. It's not like he just said, sorry, Dad, fuck you, I'm out of here. He didn't swear, obviously, but it's just like, that probably didn't happen that way. You know what I mean? Like, and he kind of gave it more reason to it and made it somewhat actually believable. And it's like, I think more people just need to do that. Like, so many people just look at black and white, and it's a lot of things aren't black and white. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
dude, you just made an entire generation of people so mad by saying that, because I agree. It's all stories. It's rewritten stories, and people, which is fine. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying it's stories. That is not actually what happened. Stories evolve over time, and it's passed down from word of mouth. And it's like, it's kind of the related thing of like Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Like, House of the Dragon is a story that happened, but the show is depicting what actually happened. Like,
yeah.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Which again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just like, I believe it's healthier to think about it that way, in a sense.
You go ahead.
I'm going to take it real quick for an analogy where it's like, you can even do it with comparison of different generations of athletes. You know what I mean? Like, someone posted a clip on Twitter with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan playing stuff like that, and people were like, "Oh, these are the best to ever play." Then we see nowadays like guys like LeBron and Steph Curry just doing like way more impressive things on the daily. You know what I mean? So it's like you're kind of saying. I mean, you hear stories and you hear stories and you hear stories. Now you're actually seeing some footage of some of this stuff. Like, I mean, we heard stories of Jesus. What if Jesus was just a guy with a cell phone? You know what I mean? Of course he was a wizard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't,
I agree.
Not to like poke fun at that, but no one really knows because you don't have any actual like visual evidence of it, and seeing is believing for a lot of people. So you just hear stories and people treat it as quote unquote gospel, as just the black and white truth, when probably that's not the whole story, So and I mean, maybe Michael Jordan couldn't go left at all either. Some people are saying that too. So,
I heard in the streets, Caitlin Clark can beat MJ one-on-one. That's what I heard.
I mean, I don't know. Shoot from the logo. I think Caitlin's got him.
I just want to reiterate, it's what I heard.
That is what you heard.
If you heard it and you read it, it's got to be true, right?
It's got to be true. Hey, I got something. But yeah, no, I agree 100%. Shout out God. You got to think for your own self, though. You can't just read something and be like, oh, that's what it is. You got to think about it. You got to question it. You got to interpret it your own way. Firm believer of that. Switching gears here. Guys, a few months back, I forgot that I signed up for a Spartan race. And the Spartan race is next weekend.
Oh, shit!
And I am
next weekend.
I am ill prepared, but I'm gonna put my nose on the grindstone and I'm gonna run the Spartan race. So obviously we'll get updates the week after the Spartan race. But yeah, so I have a Spartan race in 10 days.
Can I just ask, what made you want to sign up for a Spartan race?
A couple people from F45, the gym.
Gotcha.
A while back, they're like, there's this race. Go ahead.
I mean, when did you sign up? Was this like recent, or was this a couple months ago and you just forgot?
No, this was months ago. I signed up.
Okay.
No, yeah, it was probably November or December that we signed up for it. We're like, oh yeah, it's in like 6 months. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Just completely forgot about it. But yeah, so that's next Saturday. I'll keep you guys tuned. I ran a Tough Mudder once, and it was a lot of fun. You kind of just do what you can do. Like, if you're like, well, I can't do that station, you can just run around it. So it's like, it's not anything like, you know what I mean? It's not boot camp or something.
Pussification of America, dude. If you're going to sign up for it, you got to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me premise the Tough Mudder. I did every single obstacle. Okay. So I didn't skip any obstacles. I'm just saying you can do that. So
how long is the run? Because don't they have like 5K, 10K?
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff?
I just did the 5K one.
I think 5K is like a perfect amount for that, because it's like yeah, you're still running 3 miles or whatever, but you're doing like 20 obstacles and stuff. So like the run isn't even going to be in your mind really. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like you're going to run like 300 yards and be like, oh, next station, 200 yards, next station. You know, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of like jogging to your next, like you just said, to your next station, and you're not even thinking about like the actual run part.
I won't stand for that. I will not stand for that. You're not gonna sit here and you two pretend like running 3 miles is a fucking walking through a beautiful flower meadow, eating some cupcakes along the way because you have an obstacle. As a big man, as a man that does not run, I will not allow both of you to just sit here and say stuff like that. So, sorry.
That is noted. That is noted. I mean, honestly, I don't think like even when I wasn't running and stuff, like, I mean, it's not like you're sprinting or anything. It's like you can just jog. It reminds me of football practice, jogging from drill to drill. You know what I mean?
I hated football practice.
Believe me, I hated football practice too, and I hated you on the fucking team because you were an ass to me, Jake.
Was I really? I
think so, because like I don't know. I was sitting there, I'd go up to you, and you just turn and be like, "Fuck you doing here?"
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably true. I probably was a dick.
No, I mean it's whatever. I mean, I was just fucking dumb freshman. That's what's gonna happen.
Fun. It's funny, dude. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of JT signing up for stuff, I don't know if I mentioned it. I tweeted it out a couple weeks ago. My brother was in town, and I had a couple buddies do this last year, and someone asked me to do it this year, and I was like, yeah, and I still didn't do it. And I got drunk real night, and I did it. I signed up for the San Diego half marathon.
Oh, shit. That's way harder than what I'm doing.
What?
Yeah, so I'm going to run 13.1 miles.
Fuck you. What?
I think
That's crazy. That's crazy. You're about to go to San Diego to run 13.2 miles?
Yep, and I paid money. I paid money to do it too.
When you just simply just don't have to, you're just like, I'm gonna pay you to go run.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you gotta win.
Yeah, I don't think I'm winning, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in running shape, but I got some time. We got a new gym, we got kind of like a new gym program, so I'm doing these GTX class and stuff. So I'm gonna be losing some weight here, probably the next month or two, just doing some slower runs, but. My goal was to do it within 2 hours. That's my ultimate, that's my goal is I just want to make it in 2 hours. I think I can do that. I got to get a new pair of shoes and just get a little healthier. June 1st.
Nice.
So I got like almost 3 months. So,
holy shit.
So yeah, so I'm going to lose some weight here. I'm going to be running a little more and yeah, it'll be a good time.
I'm more nervous you doing that than when you were joining the Air Force.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm more scared for you right now.
Me too.
I've ever been.
I think it'll be good though. I think I can do like a slow pace and I'll just be solid. I think like a half marathons. I don't think I ever want to do a full marathon. Never say never, but it's like that just seems way too long. But a half I think I can do, and it's like I got a goal. I can push myself. I think it'll be good mentally and physically for me. And now that I paid the money, I'm kind of like all in, So, and I have like a good buddy that's doing it too. That's like we're roughly around the same pace, so it should be a good time. It's not like I'm going to be running with no one next to me for 2 hours.
Are you streaming it on Twitch?
That'd be electric. Maybe I'll do like the last couple miles, maybe or something like that, or like the last mile. Yeah, because it's like. I've done the Palmer 5K and stuff. We did it out in Elm Grove, and I live streamed I think on Instagram one time the last maybe half mile or something, and it's tough because like I'm holding my phone and I'm running, and so like they just get like, and the only time they see me is like when I'm looking down like this, and it's just so weird because I don't want to run holding it up that long. So maybe the last mile I might turn on like the Twitch stream or something. I think that'd be cool. But everyone says San Diego Marathon's incredible because like the view where you're running and stuff like that. So I've never been to San Diego. Might have to stop in I think Disney World or Disneyland's over there too, so I might have to do that too or something.
It won't be any harder to watch than when JT live streamed the Barstool.
I was just about
games.
to say that.
It won't be any harder to watch.
Hey, I had a nice crowd in there.
It was fun.
True. I watched them. I was fucking pumped.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But hey, guys, I'm tired. What about you?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just I don't know. I just had a fun time this evening.
Yeah, tonight was great. A lot of fun. But yeah, so me and Tiggy Nation, we have a bunch of races coming up. Mine might be a little harder than Tiggy Nation's. But no, not totally.
I'm signing up.
All jokes.
I'm signing up for the Boston Marathon next year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
signed up for an Ironman and it's next week. Yeah.
Did you guys see? I guess the Boston Marathon just happened like a little bit ago, and Adidas sent out like an email to I guess the competitors, maybe they're a sponsor or something like that, and or maybe it was like with the running app or something, and it literally said like Adidas.com. It's like, congrats, you survived the Boston Marathon.
No, it did not.
And then,
dude, oh my gosh,
they
It's
sent
called awareness.
They sent another email out saying like, we are so sorry for the insensitive message that was just sent and stuff. And
Dude, that
oh
person
my
got
god,
fired.
yeah,
wow.
it was. It's pretty brutal when you think about. Like, I saw it and I kind of didn't think of it. I'm like, oh my god. I kind of did a double take. Oh, it's terrible. Adidas in some hot water, so tough.
Damn.
First Kanye, now this crazy.
It just ain't getting better.
But all right, boys. Lunchtime was great tonight. Always have a great time at lunchtime. I think it's time for nap time. Next period is nap time. So appreciate your beautiful faces. We will catch up with you guys and see you in line next week. Bye-bye.